Weekend sees some of the best golfers in the world teeing off at Sun City in the northwest, and of course we've roped in a golf expert, Tshepo Khuzwayo, who is in Sun City as we speak. He will be doing some work for the SABC. Good evening, Tshepo, and welcome to Sports Live.
Yes, Paul, good evening to you and a good evening to your listeners as well.
Tshepo, tell us how the conditions for this year's tournament and what can we expect from this course?
Yes, Bill, I've had time to sort of walk the course. The rough is a bit thick, and then the fairways are nice and smooth, and the greens, the course is in neat condition. It's looking fantastic. But then when you look at the field, I mean, we've got three of the former world number one in Martin Keimer, Lee Westwood. And also, we've got Luke Donald, and we've got 7 South Africans. So it's going to be very, a mouth-watering, a tournament here at Sun City, as we know that this is this tournament that, sums it up like for most, European and PGA golfers. So it's really, really, a tournament to watch because, 7 South Africans, we haven't had a South African winner since, Trevor Immelman in 2007. So a lot of people still want to see Charles Schwartzel maybe win it because he has played the tournament several times, but he's yet to claim the Nedbank Golf Challenge trophy. So maybe this is his year. But again, looking at Thomas Bjorn last year, how he won it and how he managed to hold off the inspiring Sergio Garcia from Spain. So it remains to be seen if maybe someone like Thomas Bjorn will be able to repeat Lee Westwood's feat, whereby remember, if you still remember, if I were to take you back in 2010 and 2011, Lee Westwood managed to he played very well, so that the following year he was able to sort of defend his title. And again, when you look at the way the setup of the course and the way he's been playing this year, the Ryder Cup, he has spared him on. So really, it's a lot is expected of him to defend the title, but it won't be easy because the South Africans, I'm sure, they're all fired up.
Now, Tshepo, a world-class course for world-class golfers. What has the atmosphere been like over there in Sun City?
Come again, Paul?
I'm saying a world-class golf course for world-class golfers. What has the atmosphere been like? Is it tense or people excited?
To be honest, the atmosphere here, everybody's looking forward for the 34th Nedbank Golf Challenge. And you can tell that really something big is just about to happen because wherever you walk, I mean, you see all these, pictures of these golfers, these top golfers. And here at Sun City, I mean, the spirit, you can feel it, like really, this is the Nedbank Golf Challenge. And 2014, and this one, it promises to be bigger than last year. Remember, for the past, couple of years, we've had 12-man field, but then last year they decided, let's grow it bigger, let's make it, a real African, major by, inviting more players. So this year we've got a 30-man field again, like last year. So last year we had 7 South Africans, but then all of them disappointed, unfortunately, and none of them could really challenge, for the leadership or for the title. And again, this year we've got 7, of our best. Lou Westhuizen, you've got the likes of David van der Vaart, who was nervous last year, was making his debut. And again, we've got like a couple of debutants, someone like Jonas Blix, and Brooks Kapuruka, a couple of guys that are capable of causing an upset, especially to the regulars. People that have this belief that they've been there and they know the golf course very well because golf, that's why we don't have a master, we only have professionals. So it's going to be like mouth watering. It's going to be very challenging for these professionals because we know the Sun City, the Green Monster, it's not always easy as it seems because when you look at the golf course, yes, it's a green, it's a driver, a chip and a putt, but it won't be like as easy as I've just alluded, because it's a very challenging golf course because a lot is expected, and the spectators, from what I've gathered, there will be like 10,000 spectators tomorrow, coming to watch here at Sun City to see who's going to take this year's honors.
Now, Tshepo, of course, there are some really good players from the overseas contingent in Martin Keimer and Lee Westwood and, of course, Luke Donald. Should we expect any great performances on the green from them?
Well, someone like Luke Donald, really, he's got a solid, short game, but he has been disappointing, for a couple of years due to injury. Someone like, you can say the same thing to, Lou Westhuizen, who has battled with a back injury, and the world number one as well, the former world number one, Tiger Woods. So if you pick up an injury, when you're coming back, it's not always the same. You tend to struggle, to pick up your form. And the most important thing in golf is to stay fit, and so that that you can perform to your best, to the best. And when you look at Luke Donald, I mean, really, he's the best ball striker in the world, and you can say the same thing to Lou Westwood, because unfortunately he doesn't have a major. These are one of the best ball strikers, like from England, without a major, and yet they are former world number one. So people think these people, if only maybe luck was on their side, these two gentlemen that I've just mentioned, they should have had, they should have won at least one or two majors, because they've come in, they've come close on several occasions. But let's hope this year Luke Donald can, get his career on track. Maybe someone like Lee Westwood, because I remember last year the both of them, they were not here, and things didn't go so well for them. And hopefully this will be springboard. It will be more like a springboard for them to to greater things. Because if you come here and you shoot a low score and compete in this very demanding golf course like the Geripila Country Club, and to the rest is like history, because other golf courses, they are not as conditioned or as tough as this Geripila Country Club. So it's in a way, the winner here at the Geripila Country Club will always go out and compete and become maybe a major winner or maybe a world number one, like we've seen in the past, the likes of Lee Westwood and Martin Keimer, after winning the Nedbank Golf Challenge, and then they went on to become world number one, toppling Tiger Woods at the top of their standings.
Now, very quickly, Tshepo, what can we as the locals expect from Schwartzel and Oosthuizen?
Come again, Paul?
Very quickly, what can we expect from our two local stars, Schwartzel and Oosthuizen?
Yeah, like Schwartzel and Oosthuizen, yes, they are good players, we know, and they've been playing well, but then, like I've said earlier, Lou Westhuizen, unfortunately, has been battling with a back injury, but he started the 2014 season very well with a win. He defended his Volvo Championship in Durban, and he had a couple of top fives finish. And then you can say the same thing to Charles Schwartzel. He had a couple of top 10 finishes on the PGA Tour, but then nothing concrete to say. Nothing that he could write home about and say, listen, I won at least the one tournament this year, because as South Africans this year, I think, as far as the international calendar is concerned, we've been very, very quiet, because we haven't had any major winner, especially on the international stage, on the PGA Tour, or maybe let alone the PGA Tour in China or in Europe. But then let's hope if things go their way, they can, become victorious, and hopefully, emulate the likes of Trevor Immelman, Retief Goosen, and Gary Player, any else that has won this tournament, so many times. Because when you look at the prize money as well, it's very encouraging, because $1.2 million. Who wouldn't want that for a Christmas bonus?
Great, thank you so much, Tshepo, and I certainly hope that we will be catching up with you as the tournament continues. Now, in the battle of the